Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're back, man. Episode 253.
I ain't gonna front. I was farting while the bass was going, just to sneak it in. Just
wow.
So, yeah.
It's
like you wouldn't be able.
Dun, dun,
yeah, it was
dun.
like boom, boom, boom.
No,
yeah.
it's like dun dun. You can't. It don't matter how much you try to let out a silent one. If that shit go off, it's the loudest fart. It's like it's squeaking out your booty hole. It's like you try to let it out like smooth, like, but it never come out that way. It might start out like, my God damn, everyone heard that shit. I think my biggest embarrassment is I farted in the library.
Ooh.
Man, that shit sounded like I farted in the Grand Canyon.
Like school library or like Bill Library?
Bill Library downtown.
Nah, it's not.
And it wasn't hardly nobody in there. And I was going
it's so quiet, huh?
I was going up the stairs. I think something was wrong with the elevator. You know how they got that long staircase? All them stairs just brought all the extra farts out of my ass. I was just going up the stairs like
Now the worst ones is when you try to play it off. I don't know. I forgot who did it, but somebody farted, so it was like, and then they just started like beatboxing with it, like.
I'm not playing it off. If you hear me fart, I'm not gonna say anything. Just know I farted. we're adults, you know. The average. Did you know the average person farts 14 times a day?
Yeah,
14 times.
that's crazy.
So if they're like, "Oh my God, you're so gross," I'm like, "I already know you farted at least 13 times a day, so you could just shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Yeah, check.
That's funny.
Check your bowels, not me. Okay.
I for sure. Like I think my most embarrassing one was like it was in school, like in elementary school. But it was embarrassing by itself. But they didn't know, which would have probably made it more embarrassing. It was one of those ones where you fart and then everybody looking around like, dang, who farted? And then you just looking around like, dang, who farted? Knowing it was you the whole time.
Knowing damn well you had that shit done slid out your ass. Yeah. Women be getting away with farting during sex too, acting like they ain't farting.
That's crazy.
It's the truth. They know damn well they be farting.
Cause especially if they getting their stuff clapped. Cause the way your stomach is set up,
All
and
the air.
yeah, all that air, I'm sure they be farting.
Yeah, and the thing too is like when that women queef, just be mature about it, bro.
Yeah,
I don't even laugh because sometimes I will catch myself like about to start laughing.
Yeah,
but I don't even laugh because they be watching you to see if you laugh.
It do sound crazy though, but you realize it's not like. It ain't like you farting. This is just like air built up.
Yeah, it's air, but sometimes it's not just air,
sometimes
bro.
they be farting.
Sometimes they know that, like, especially if you mature about it. But then you be like, okay, now it smell like Doritos in here. Now. Something's up in this motherfucker.
It went from smelling like Trojan condoms to flatulence.
Trojan condoms smell like a new tire from Michelin.
Chill. Tire change.
The nigga dick be like burning rubber.
That's crazy.
Oh man,
that Trojan is not the most pleasant smell.
No, man, no. It's like hot rubber, man. This is crazy. Are we trying to build a car here or have protected sex? What's going
smell
on?
Like an auto shop. Smell like big old tires in there.
Yeah. Shout out to Michelin. All right, let's get right into it, man. Enough of this, okay? Martin Luther King. They just came out with a new statue, and it doesn't look right. And I know art is supposed to be subjective, right? Some people might look at an art piece and say that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and some people will be like, "What the fuck is that?" And I think most people are saying, "What the fuck is that?" All right, I got an article from the New York Post. It says, "Woke 10 million MLK penis statue insults black community." Whoever wrote this is he just must be a fucking comedian. But yeah, what's weird is when you look at this statue, it's supposed to be of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott, right? His wife. And it's supposed to be an embrace, but it doesn't look right. It just looked like somebody's hand grabbing a BBC or something. All right. It says, even to kin of, let me read this article. Even some kin of Coretta Scott King hate the new $10 million sculpture just dedicated to her and her iconic civil rights leader husband in Boston, with a cousin claiming it looks like a penis. The massive bronze piece titled "The Embrace" features two sets of arms holding each other, an artistic interpretation of the classic photo of Coretta Scott and her husband Martin Luther King hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. The mainstream media was reporting on it like it was all beautiful because they were told they had to say that. Seneca Scott, Coretta's cousin, told the Post Post on Phone by Sunday, referring to the new artwork on the Boston Common. But then it came out. A little boy pointed out, "That's a penis," and everyone was like, "Yo, that's a big old dong." Said the 43-year-old Oakland, California resident. If you had showed that statue to anyone in the hood, they'd have been like, "Nah, absolutely not." But it doesn't look right, man. It does not look right at all.
It don't help that it's bronze.
Nah.
Or copper or whatever.
The first time when I seen it from the side, I was like, yo, that's my penis, yo.
Who leaked my dick pic?
They done took it off Snapchat. He wrote, scornfully in Compact Mag, $10 million were wasted to create a masturbatory mental homage to my legendary family members, one of the all-time greatest American families. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. And people might disagree, and this might be, I guess, not even conspiratorial or whatever, right? I think that the $10 million is supposed to go to a project that was more full. I feel like $10 million was supposed to show Martin Luther King and his wife hugging, but they stole so much fucking money, they said, fuck it, let's just put the arms on there. So they probably got a couple $1 million, and they saved money by putting pictures of arms. If I looked at that, I can't decipher between whose arms and hands are going where and what object that is in that other hand.
Yeah, it's like a loop. It's kind of...
Yeah, it's just like, dude, this is absolutely just terrible. But it's too late because they got a big-ass statue of it.
Yeah. I personally think, like, the statue looks kind of weird. But I see where they were going. It's just missing some stuff. It's missing, like, some shoulders. And it's like a torso and a chest. It just... I think that's the biggest thing, like, when you think about... have you ever, I know they have like the top 10 failed ads or like, top 10 failed, photographs or something like that. And it's usually like something that looks like something that it's not. It may be like somebody reaching over and they may be standing in front of somebody that's stretching at the same time, and it look like they giving the person head.
It look weird, yeah.
Yeah, like so. That's something you have to be very mindful of when you're creating art, right? And what things look like from the outside looking in, and they just didn't. They didn't put too much thought into this.
I wonder, like, beyond the grave, what Martin Luther King thinks about this shit.
Don't do it.
Y'all made a statue of my BBC. I can't believe y'all got my BBC on display like this.
Only white women get the luxury of seeing my BBC.
Only Marilyn Monroe could look at my BBC. Marilyn Monroe was my hoe. Oh man, this is terrible. I feel like this is like an injustice to somebody who was just like this very like legendary like stoic type man, right? Mm-hmm. And then you do this, like I don't feel like it's paying homage the way that it should.
Yeah, it is not giving, as they would say. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I wonder who this artist is. Sometimes when stuff come out and it don't look like how it's supposed to, the artist kind of duck off somewhere.
Yeah. The artist probably somewhere with a bunch of fucking money because he didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think that this shit is finished because I look at the picture, I can see what they were going at, but there's certain details that are necessary to paint the picture.
Yeah, to give like for it not to be like, and that's something that me as like a filmmaker am very conscious of, right? Like when we're putting something together, it's like, what is the story here? What is like, what is the intention of this scene? Like, why are we doing this? Why is this person picking up this piece of paper? It's always like, you're always thinking about like the over, like the like the macro standpoint or the macro view of everything. And I think when they were like, oh man, you know, it would be cool if we make this monument of Martin Luther King after he won his Nobel Peace Prize and he's hugging his wife. And then you just stop at like, you know, a 50% project. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this shit needs more detail, man. It does. If you guys are listening to the podcast, you could just stop it and go look it up on Google, or you could just continue while you do it.
It might be the cover art.
Yeah, we might have to use it. And then you guys are going to be like, why is the Trucker's Mind podcast posting dicks on the fucking cover art? What's going on with these guys? They're taking this shit too far. I have kids. I don't want them seeing this on here. I don't want my wife looking at bronze-colored dicks while she's trying to watch the fucking podcast. This is out of control.
It's just no show. It's like it's no body. It's just arms that's like looped around.
It's just arms, weird. Man. It looks like, I don't know. And then the inside of it, see, here's the thing. It's hard to put detail to the inside of it because the picture doesn't capture that. Mm-hmm. It just shows Coretta Scott and embracing him, but you need the bodies in between.
Yeah.
I think that it would make sense if they filled in the bodies in the middle.
Just feel that you just need some torso and like need some titties on there or something.
Yeah, some big nipples or something. All you need is some areolas. Right? But if you just had like literally a torso with like a jacket pocket on it, you know, a jacket pocket, maybe, you know, some type of suit.
Yeah.
You don't need a bunch of shit so people be like, oh, okay, this must be, Martin Luther King and his
I ain't gonna
wife.
front. I've literally never seen a fire Martin Luther King memorial statue.
No.
It's one at CSUB, dog.
They got one. They got Martin Luther King looking like Yo Gotti on one of them, man.
The one at CSUB, it's hideous.
What's going on?
It's like his head, but it's like wood. It's made out of wood, and it's just like little, I don't know, like little segments, and his lips is huge.
Wow.
Big old nose. It just look weird.
It's like satire almost.
Yeah, almost like a cartoon character.
It's like a minstrel show. Mm-hmm. Why these white people doing me like this?
They got me out here shooking and jiving.
You know, it'd be super racist. They got a statue of Martin Luther King, like a piece of chicken in his hand. You're like, you motherfuckers know what you did when you did this shit. How the fuck would you do this to Martin Luther King, man? This ain't right. Yeah, we need to literally have a real like statue of Martin Luther King more in detail with his wife.
Just basic.
Just very basic,
I'm
man.
gonna see if I can find that CSUB one.
Really? Where is it at? In the front of the school or what?
It's I can't tell you exactly where it's at. I think it's on more of the northern side of the campus.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it just looked crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes what's weird too is these NFL, the Hall of Fame ones. Some of those look fucked up.
Oh my God.
It's like, yo, I'm like, you got me out here looking like a Puerto Rican. What's going on?
Nigga, this is hurting my soul.
I'm dark as hell.
This is hurting my soul.
What's going on?
This is a statue.
Let me see. What the fuck? That's a CSUB?
This is a CSUB.
Nigga, that look like Nelson Mandela.
This nigga look like Gandhi. I'm Nelson Mandela. I don't know why they have me at Martin Luther King on the front. That nigga look like he was smoking blunt.
Yo, Nelson Mandela kind of sounded like Yoda a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man,
even this one is like,
that's fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, here's the artist, I guess.
It's a black dude.
That's sad.
That nigga did it.
Yeah,
man, we gotta find this nigga and beat his ass.
That nigga.
It's like, I'm sorry, you a black man. I don't believe in the whole black on black crime thing, man. But you got to get these hands for doing Martin Luther King like that.
Oh, facts. You did an injustice.
Yeah, man. Martin Luther King fought for us, man. He fought for people who look like us, only to make a sculpture that looked like that.
I guess he might have raised. Did he raise money for this?
Man,
I think he did I think he did like a Kickstarter for that sculpture.
And they're like, oh man, that's
kick his ass for that.
Man, that nigga's tripping.
Even this one, I think this one is in DC. I'm just like, this one is the best one, but it's still just it's just like,
You got Martin Luther King looking like an angry black man right there, though.
yeah.
I'm tired of these white people every day. It's some new shit every day.
It just looked. This one looked half finished too. Like they just stopped.
I mean, well, you think about those times, they didn't really give a fuck about black people. So they probably just give us half sculptures back then. We was lucky to get anything back in those days. They got whole statues of Robert E. Lee on a fucking horse.
Yeah,
But you can't give Martin Luther King one good statue,
he ain't
motherfucker.
got one good statue. If any of the listeners out there, if y'all could send me a picture, a photo, or something, a Google image of just one beautiful Martin Luther King statue.
Look, man, you can't have one good sculpture of Martin Luther King nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you use reverse psychology on people and you found a perfectly good photo of John Wilkes Booth pulling out a gun, and you'd be like, "See,
Yeah.
now y'all mad."
No, yeah, all those people that was in the, what's it called, the Confederate,
They had monuments.
yeah, all those monuments in the South and stuff like that. Beautiful sculptures.
Yeah, they're on a horse.
Yeah.
They got a whip in their hand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I think there might be like, and I'm just being genuine. I think there might be a deeper conversation to be had about some of these sculptures, right? Because I know I went to Iowa State for just one semester. George Washington Carver is an Iowa State alumni, right? And his sculpture is like this big.
Really? It's little?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's probably the most prominent, outside of Brock Purdy, probably the most prominent person ever to walk. It's like George Washington Carver, Brock Purdy, and then K Fings right here. That's like Brock Purdy, George Washington, and then K Fings.
That'd be so fucked up. Like, I'm a Niner fan, but it'd be so messed up if Brock Purdy get a statue bigger than
Way
George
bigger
Washington
that
Carver.
don't make no sense. This nigga got
Oh,
1,000
man.
patents on peanuts.
They gonna have Brock Purdy looking like a Power Ranger in the front of that fucking school, man.
That nigga's a legend.
Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. We got to do better,
We got to do better.
right? I don't. Who today would deserve a statue? Somebody, from a politicals. I can't think of anybody.
From a like civil rights.
Yeah, from
politics
anywhere,
or
whether it's
something like that.
political. I just don't think of anybody that deserves a statue right now.
Yeah, mostly like athletic stuff. I think, obviously Kobe is probably next at
Oh,
the
yeah, of
Staples
course.
Center.
Of
or
course.
the what is it called? The crypto.com arena.
Fuck that shit. That shit's still Staples to me.
Staples Center, yeah.
I ain't calling that shit say. You know what's funny? We attended one of the last games. I think it was the last game in Staples Center. We attended.
Oh, really?
That was us. Yeah, I think we attended the last game in Staples Center.
Dang.
Fucking crazy, right?
That's cool.
That was in November, dude. No, it was
It's
in
so
December, I
crazy.
think.
It's so crazy because we were just at the the amphitheater out there at Riverwalk. Mm-hmm. It's changed its name like
So
5
many
different times.
times.
It used to be the Bright House
Yeah.
Amphitheater, the
Uh-huh.
Spectrum Amphitheater. Now it's like the Dignity Health Amphitheater
Regnity.
or something
Oh,
like that.
really? I said regnity.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
That's
it
nuts.
just be changing the name.
Yeah, I think Bernie Sanders went out there one time, didn't he?
Yeah, I took some pictures when we went out there.
And it was funny is you told me that Bernie, anything he said, everybody was just going crazy yelling.
Yeah.
He's like, free healthcare. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Free the boobs. Oh my God, yes.
Show my tits. Oh.
It was a couple of Trump supporters out there too.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, they pulled up with their hats.
Oh God. What's funny is people how divisive politics have made people in America. Mm-hmm. And it's just hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have any political affiliation anymore. I can't even call myself a liberal or conservative because there's not a party for me anymore. I think that a person who's once considered himself to be pretty liberal, it's like I see the stuff on the left now and I'm like, man, I don't even want to be a part of that. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be some it'll be something like, we need to appropriate, like, it. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to offend nobody right now, but it'll be some stuff on the left that they trying to, like, appropriate that I don't necessarily agree with. Mm-hmm. And then when you don't agree with it, they'll be like, well, you're just a Trump supporter. I'm like, no, I'm not. Mm-hmm. I can't just be a person that doesn't agree with something.
You can't be in the middle.
Yeah, I can't be in the middle. Ain't no party for motherfuckers like us no more. If you're an objective person politically, there's no party for you. You got to choose between the Democrats or the Republicans. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's sad. Like Biden, man. Like even seeing this Biden thing. I heard some on the Brilliant Idiots. I heard a clip, which I'll share. But Joe Biden forgot Coretta Scott her name, bro.
Really?
Yeah. It was. I guess it was her birthday too, and he was like, "Happy birthday, dear." Forgot her fucking name, bro.
Yeah, they say that dementia is setting in over there.
It's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad. Charlemagne said it. Charlemagne and Schultz said he never would have had to like remember her name if he just would have did Black Happy Birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Black Happy Birthday.
You don't say the name.
Don't say the name. It's
Dang.
Happy birthday to you. Because black people, we forget names. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. We don't know that nigga's name.
We don't know that nigga's name.
They be feeling so special too. Like, white people get a black happy birthday, like, oh my God, they remembered me.
Nah,
like,
we just had the wildest experience. So we out at the Bluffs taking pictures for my brother's like his clothing line NGA. So we out there and this lady walks by. You know, people be out there walking a dog and stuff like that. So the dog walks by and she's like, this white lady, and she has a dog. It's called like a dingo or something. And the way she described it, she was like, yeah, I think this is like some sort of like Native American dog where they're like part wolf, you know, and they're not, I don't know. She said you can't really get the blood work done on them because, you know, they're like technically a wolf and all this other stuff, right? Because the tail was like real fat, like almost like a wolf, right? And she was just talking about the dog, like, yeah, you know, it's just the sweetest dog ever. You know, the only time she gets aggressive if people are, you know, hurting kids, something she said. So she's just talking about the dog going on and on. She talking to my mom, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, what are you guys doing out here? And she's like, oh, we're doing this photo shoot for the clothing line and stuff like that. And then my mom was like, yeah, you know, your dog is just so cute. Just having a normal conversation. And then she was like, my son is black. And we was like, just like what? And then she just went for like 10 minutes, like, yeah, I just got my son, like and then she's like, my grandkids came out. One of them is extremely beautiful. He has really good hair and stuff like that. And it just got really awkward.
I got it. My thing, I don't want to make this a racial thing, but I got to talk to the white folks. You got to cut this shit out.
Please.
And the thing is, y'all don't be racist when you do this, but you spend so little time around black people that you think you got to like prove that you like not one of the racist white folks.
Yeah.
You'll be like, we'll just be having a regular conversation like, yeah, the Cardinals got put out last week. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got a cousin that's black, man. Really
that's
great,
what they be doing.
Really great guy. He's really into martial arts. Just really, really sharp person, man.
Like, we can't have a conversation without having race involved.
Like, can you stop this racial awkwardness, man?
Yeah. Like, the most comedy thing is when the dude was telling you about the Jackie Robinson.
Oh, bro. It was the most racial awkward experience. I'm telling you guys now, I'm just being blunt. White listeners, stop putting black people in awkward positions. Just have a regular fucking conversation. We don't want to always talk about race, man.
You know the cold part? I want you to tell that story. But the cold part about that situation is we was all low key engaged, like in the story, like, oh, you know, just this dog is so, you know, beautiful and so precious to me. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm not engaging in a conversation. Me and my brother just listening. And as soon as she said, yeah, I have a black son, we just turned our shoulders over here and started talking to ourselves.
It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna describe your black son the way you did that dog? He's African American, but he's actually a quarter mix. You're like, nigga, if you don't leave me alone. No, but the story I had, it was hilarious. I was out there at Riverside, and I was going to get my paperwork, man. And cool guy. I've talked to him a few times, but I was getting my paperwork. We were just having a regular conversation. I think we were talking about baseball or something. It was the playoffs. And I was like, yeah. And I was getting ready to leave. And he's like, man, it's a shame what they did to Jackie Robinson. No, matter of fact, we weren't talking about baseball. We weren't talking about baseball at all. It was nothing related to the subject matter. And he's like, man, it's wrong what they did to Jackie Robinson, man. It's wrong. And I'm just like, I was like, yeah. Hey, man, you have a good day. God bless, man.
I thought I had the story wrong. I thought he told you that 42 was a good movie.
Yeah, he mentioned it in some capacity.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I said, oh, I seen it. And I was getting ready to leave, and he's like, it's wrong. It's really wrong. Like,
that was what year was that?
That was only like last year or something.
No,
man.
I'm saying when Jackie Robinson was playing for the Dodgers.
Oh, man, too
he
long.
was making it sound like it was
Brooklyn
Maurice.
Dodgers, this nigga had a 50-year late comment about this shit. He was, yeah. They was calling Jackie Robinson niggers over 50 years ago, so you're a little bit late, sir. Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there was this dude, I think he was like around my age or a little older, and he was interviewing his grandpa who used to be a cop, right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't interviewing him, he was just asking him questions, but he had his phone down like this, right?
Yeah.
It was on TikTok. And he was talking about during like, the Black Panthers or back in the day when, he's like, so in regards to that time, like with black people, like what if a black guy was just jogging down the street? And he said, his grandpa said, and quote, this is what the grandpa said. He's like, I mean, he ain't got no business running. What was he doing running?
Oh, wait, what?
He's like, he can't just run. He's like, well, I mean, what he got any business running for? And I'm just like, God damn.
That racism.
Some different times, man.
Racism in his skin follicles.
Yeah, but that's hilarious.
Hair
though.
follicles.
That's hilarious though that you mentioned that because literally, I swear, I had a family member pass away, and one of my aunts had a friend that came down, and she was from the Rancho Cucamonga area, and then somehow she got into talking about that area and how it changed, and about like Latinos and stuff. And then she was like, "Yeah, very kind people. We just all got older, but in that area, it was like in the barrio, and
in the barrio.
Swear to God, she said this. And it's like
gosh.
I didn't get a sense of her being racist at all. But it's just the fact that like white people go down these unnecessary long stories. And it's like they have to like uplift the black or brown person in the conversation so they don't come off as racist. You never needed to bring any of that shit up.
Yeah.
I don't be like talking to a white person and be like, hey, I got a buddy named Greg is white.
Yeah.
He's a snowboarder.
We got to start returning the energy.
Yeah.
I wish my mom would have been like, yeah, my son's girlfriend is half white as well.
Yeah.
Just return that awkwardness,
Yeah, man, that's wild. Like, I've never been talking to some white dude randomly somewhere and be like, you ever play Tony Hawk Pro Skater? He'd probably be like, fuck yeah, man, I play that all the time.
To them, that's a normal conversation. It's not
Right.
even awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, do you like the brand Quicksilver? Yeah, I love that shirt, man. I love that brand. All right, man, where are we at? Switching gears. All right, folks. We genuinely apologize. We're going to have to cut this podcast short, man. We've been having some technical difficulties on this episode. We've had to cut the podcast on 2 different occasions. And right now, before the audio fucks up again, we just wanted to send our deepest apologies. I know a lot of you guys use this podcast when you commute to go to work or while you're at work or whatever the case.
Yeah.
And we usually deliver, up to 2 hours of content every Monday. So
Just the 2 of us.
Yeah, man.
Just the 2 of us.
All right, Keith.
My bad.
But yeah, we apologize for that.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you next week, man, because we got to cut this shit off. I'm going to go online right now and buy another interface or whatever else we need to make sure we got the content.
Yeah.
Because this ain't cool, man. We've been doing this too long, and we don't want to have this inconvenience again.
Yeah. And just, as a testament to us, like, we tried it on a few occasions, and it was just sounding progressively worse. So, we was just like, man, it's getting late. I actually got a shoot that I got to work on in the morning, so I got to wake up in like 4 hours. So,
man, jeez,
just make it. But I'm still here giving the people content. No excuses.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be right back next week with some more content. Hopefully, should we do the pod before the game or after the game next week? I don't know. We can talk about it later.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully the Niners win by the next time y'all hear from us.
Oh yeah, appreciate you guys. Once again, sorry for the inconvenience. Obviously, you've made it to the end of this podcast. That was abruptly stopped due to technical difficulty.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here, man.
Peace.